Hello and welcome to another video. I wanted to showcase just quickly the new champ Nezha. He just came out on the weekend. I think a lot of people assumed that he's going to be a limited. This is not the case. I at least wanted to make one video showing the damage numbers for Semrah. So here we are. I'm not assuming that he is going to be a top tier DPS for Semrah here, as the kid is just too much working around single target as well as AoE. And yeah, obviously we cannot really make any use of the AoE factor in here. And that is pretty much it. Yep. So I'm not really expecting him to really shine here. But I at least wanted to make one video of him and showing him off. Just to have some damage numbers so that people know what they can expect of him. The setup is pretty much just the Esotericist team and the Watch team. So pretty much similar to what a lot of people are running by now in the Abyss Guild boss. And yeah, I'll just let it run till the end. I'm gonna see how far I'm going to come, and yeah, I'm just gonna give a quick feedback at the end of it to show where the damage is going to be. And yeah, we'll see from there on out. So until later. Okay. So here we are reaching our end. Pretty much everyone got wiped on one smack of the boss. That was at least a clean end. He would obviously dodge. Okay, take him out. So, let's take a look at the numbers. What cannot save? Placed. What cannot save all the way? Oh, damn. I was hoping I was actually having a new setup. So the fact that Ingra is pretty much even, I find a bit disturbing, to be honest. Maybe also for her. To be honest, though, gotta point that out, in my opinion. Nezha definitely had pretty much the best gear for this faction, meaning it's a Cataclysm gear with exclusive and stuff. So I intentionally at least wanted to highlight him. Also, pretty much triggering his ult all the time, especially in the beginning, compared to delaying Numera and Wukong, for example, for the knocked phase of the boss whenever he's going into the next one and stuff. To just have a bit more DPS coming from him. Yeah, I'm always wanting to say her. But all in all, that is not looking too hot. So, as I was assuming in the beginning already, the single target damage just isn't really cutting it from him. That doesn't look too hot. As I said, Ingrid has like the I don't know, fourth, fifth best gear maybe. No cataclysm and everything, so it's definitely worse than his. It doesn't look like a guild boss champ to me. He definitely has some potential also. Sorry, here for Semrah, with every 3 seconds a stun coming in. Where is he again? Is it this one? Yeah, every 6 seconds. Sorry, 6, not 3. I think I said 3. He stuns, but then again, we're talking about 10 enemies, so we're again having an AoE stun. Pretty much the same also goes for the ult that is dealing AoE damage. So all in all, the damage obviously wasn't as bad, but compared to other units, there is simply more room to it. What would then my recommendation be? In my opinion, obviously can be helpful for things like gear raid. Um, there are by now several options. Let's see if someone actually. Oh yeah, perfect. Here we have from Bendo. The damage isn't too bad. Like with Valara also in the team, the damage is good. Like he's putting out a lot of damage. Hell yeah. Obviously, and let's take a look. It's A3. A3 is huge for the AoE damage. This is even A0 strong. So he's definitely an option for the gear. Oh, damn. For the gear rate. But at the same time, we were already using like really OG champs as in Vienna uh, to make that work. While you could also obviously by now bring in Valara as well, have her as a good DPS unit. But you can see like Nezha damage is actually pretty nuts. So Gear Rate 1, my opinion, definitely a recommendation. If this is needed for the stage 24, go ahead, give it a shot with him. He should shine there. Gear Rate 2, in my opinion, is a bit questionable if this is really necessary, but obviously also doable. The ult range, the increased ult range should really help out, that you're able to hit both lanes, and the ult is actually ongoing for pretty long. It's like, I think, 30 seconds if I'm not mistaken. So this is obviously going to be pretty helpful to clear both waves. Ideal would be if his range would be the 3 tiles all the time, but that's a whole different story. For Geared 3, I'm pretty sure I've seen some stuff, or at least seen people talk about it. I don't really see him there. I mean, you could use him in the middle, but then again, you can also just use Along, if you have him, obviously. Um, would also be an option. I'm not too sure about that, running Nezha in that area. So more likely looking definitely in the direction of Gear 1, potentially Gear 2 as a substitute for stuff like Adea, Valar, Lubu, Valkyria, or these kind of units with a high range, hitting a lot of units. Gear 1 and 2, I haven't tested that for, or even taken a look at that, since like Gear Dungeon 1 is pretty much just full magical damage, if I'm not mistaken anymore. It's been so long by now, jeez. I don't really see his spot there, yep. As we've also haven't seen anyone use him there. And I guess you could use him here in the Gear Dungeon 2, but I wouldn't feel too good about it, to be honest. Like in the bottom placement here, I dislike the fact that you are not having his ult up. Like obviously pretty much the whole time. And then outside of that, that could be a bit rough. Up here, or yeah, pretty much just the top row is the only one that's interesting then. I'm not too sure if you're going to pump out enough damage to deal with the big Volker then at the end. That would be something that needs to be tested, but yeah, as I said, this can be useful there, or he can be useful there, but I'm not too happy about it. Outside of that, there is just pretty much remaining the GVG part. His range is a bit weird, as in that we are mentioned that before already. Have him now as a 2-tile ranged fighter. We're generally talking about from his position to forward, not the 3 on the side, obviously. That gives a bit of a weird positioning, because you would want to have the tank either on that tile or on that tile, so that you're standing diagonal to the tank, which obviously gives you, for example, options to get bombed, but you can work around that. There are definitely options, but otherwise you wouldn't really be safe to hit in front of the tank, right? If you move him back one tile, you're not hitting in front of the tank. If you're moving directly behind one of these tiles, the quote-unquote tank, if you imagine him in one of those, then you can most likely just use the legendary mages to kill him off. The range is a little bit weird. If he had one more range in the middle as a 3-ranged tile fighter, then you could have easily placed him with one spot free behind the tank. So tank, one free spot, Nezha. That would have been an option. If he had more base HP, let's go over here, then you could have potentially placed him right behind the tank and still have enough HP maybe. So as an example, here we have Wukong, who has 12k more base HP, which is obviously being used for the HP percentage stat that we're having on our gear as a multiplier. So, and he's already having issues staying alive. So a Nezha with 16,000 HP, I think it was, yeah. 16, that is simply not going to cut it. So these are kind of, in my opinion, the issues with him. You can run him, but you need a very specific map at the end of the day for GVG. But the damage would be very good. And then obviously there's one last spot left. This is, in my opinion, probably going to be the most interesting one for a lot of people. The Malrix halls. You cannot see anything here yet, and I think the battle gallery hasn't collected any data here. Yep. In my opinion, definitely Nezha is going to be a top tier champ for this content. Everyone who needs an AoE fighter, kind of similar at least to Ardea, he isn't going to put out as much damage in the hits, but his AoE potential is still going to be huge. So that's most likely going to be the spot where, yeah, I'm going to see him shine. Unfortunately, I cannot make any videos about it since I am restricted by the monthly usage that wasn't announced before the update that hit today. Otherwise, I would be showing off some stuff about him already. So there are surely other content creators that actually are able to still run some keystones. I recommend check them out. As you've seen in the damage charts against Semrah, that's probably not going to be really his spot where he's going to shine. Okay. Therefore, have fun, and I can only recommend it. Check out other content creators with their videos about Nezha in the Myrick Keystone dungeon. And yeah, I will try to see if I can record a video once I can access these again. Until then, take care, bye.